I'm yet to meet a runner who doesn't have a foam roller lying around somewhere at home, whether it's collecting dust in the corner, whether it's being used to dry it in your washing, or if it's actually being used to help massage the tissue. Whatever it is, you've got one. It might be a long one like this. Even a short one is quite good. I often find the short ones are sneaky and actually a lot harder than the softer, bigger ones. But I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks that you can use to get a full body little massage. There are a few little techniques that it can really help get deep into the tissue. So as always, we want to start with a little bit of spinal mobility because that's always nice. Foam rollers have a terrible reputation of being quite aggressive and obnoxious to use, but not always. So we'll start gently with the foam roller right under your lower back. And I want you to take your hands behind your head, always protecting your neck, your elbows are wide, and then just gently leaning into it. So the goal here is thoracic extension, your chest will lift, and then a little bit of flexion as you roll all the way back. So you want to take your spine through extension as you roll forwards and then flexion as you roll back. And by doing that, not only are you getting that little bit of massage down your spine, but you're also getting your body moving through range. So it's a little bit more active than just passively relying on the roller to do the work for you. And contrary to what you'd believe, you actually don't need to be on these for very long. So I like to go 30 seconds to 1 minute per body part, and that's enough for that fascia to release, that tissue to relax, and also it means that you're more likely to do it. So once you finish that little bit of a spinal warm up, next up, of course, is the glutes. And rather than just sort of rolling around on your hips, what you want to do is actually get yourself into a pretty exposed glute position, which means you're sitting on your roller in a figure 4. So if you're going to go for your left glute, right ankle over your left knee, hands are supporting you, so it does become a bit of an upper body workout. And then from here, you're leaning into that left glute. First of all, that's it. So you're trying to get into that outer hip, but you're also getting a stretch through your right side hip initially. So first of all, starting off from the more relaxed glute, which should feel pretty tolerable. And then here's the clincher. We roll across to that right glute, which is currently on stretch, and then you can get really deep, not only into the glutes, but those short lateral rotators. So you want to start on the left, tease it out, ease into it, and then get nice and deep onto the right. And once again, 30 seconds to 1 minute is all you need. And of course, swapping sides straight up. So left ankle over, a little bit of a stretch here through the left glute, back onto that right glute, which is now a bit softer in this position, but you're also still pushing your left knee wide, so you're getting a little bit of a stretch through your left knee. And this is a pretty soft roller, I'm not gonna lie. So if I'm making it look easy, that's because it's not super aggressive. If I was on this little black one over here, different story. So you can sort of grade it depending on how hard you wanna work into the glutes. Switching across into that left hip, so getting a nice little massage. Now that glute is on stretch, so it's definitely deeper and you can definitely feel it, particularly through glute med, so that lateral hip. Little muscle here under glute max. And once again, 30 seconds is all you need, pretending like we've done that full range of 30 seconds. The next one, I'm pretty passionate about calves and hamstrings for foam rolling work because they can feel pretty redundant when you foam roll them unless you do it properly. So what you want to do with your hamstring, you want to take your left leg over the top of the leg that you're doing. So the right leg here is on the work, and you're actually using that top leg to actually push extra pressure into that hamstring. And typically you'll find there's a little bit of a tightness spot on the inner hammy. So you're almost on the adductor as you're rolling through, but you're using obviously upper body strength and you're using that left leg to create extra pressure onto your right hammy. And then you want to tease it out by going across to the left. So you're almost bordering on that ITB in this position. So rather than just rolling straight up and down the hamstring, you sort of want to angle it to aspect it to the left and then the right. And then of course working forward, further down the chain into the calf, the same thing applies. So calves can feel pretty easy on a roller, but if we can get it set up straight down the middle, you could probably do it all day. However, if you use that top leg on top as a weight, pull your toes back to your nose so it's on stretch, and then rotate your legs. So you're then working medial calf on one aspect, and then lateral calf on the other aspect, going right from the heel towards the knee. You're gonna get a really nice massage through gastroc, soleus, even a little bit of tib post if you go towards your shin. And it feels pretty good actually, especially on this foam roller. And then once again, we'll go through it again to the other side, crunching up my mat here. So you've got your roller right underneath your hammy. Starting right up towards your glute, your right leg comes across and you're just massaging it, first of all straight, and then you can get to the good stuff by rolling into that adductor. So that inner upper hamstring, that's the most common one for runners to injure, is that upper medial hamstring. Unlike footballers who tend to get the lateral aspect from kicking. So that's the one you're most likely going to want to target. And then if you're a little bit tight through that ITB and also hammy, you want to flick it across so you're sort of laterally here, still using that top leg as pushing down to get that little bit of extra compression onto the roller. And it is a bit of an upper body workout. I'm not going to lie, I'm getting pretty warm doing this. That's not a bad thing. Melbourne winter, approaching fast. And then from here, then of course we take you a little bit further down the chain into that left calf. Once again, using your top leg here as a little bit of extra leverage. You can start straight, your left toes back towards your nose, and then you want to start that angulation medially and also laterally. So that medial calf is going to tighten a bit. If you're someone that's prone to shin splints, that's a good area to target. Lateral calf, a little bit more across towards the perineals. If you're someone that's sprained your ankle a lot in the past, that can often be tight. And just getting that whole gamut of calf complex a little bit loose is always going to help every single runner. So 30 seconds, right hammy, right calf, left hammy, left calf, and then we can cruise across to a bit of rotation. So we're going to be lying onto our side, and that foam roller is actually going to block us. Right underneath, between your ribs and your hip bone, foam roller comes right on top. And then from here, you want to gently lie over it so your ear is all the way down on the mat. So it looks pretty relaxing, but it does take your breath away a little bit. You're really blocked in that position. And then from here, your palms come together. We're going to add a little bit of thoracic rotation. So from here, you're going to start to open up that top arm, chest, thoracic, middle back, but also getting a really deep massage through your QL and your right side hip. And then we come all the way back. So this is a really nice runner one. Most runners have pretty tight lower backs, especially through QL, and also pretty stiff through that middle back, but your knees are together, your knees are blocked. And with this one, you can do sort of 10 to 15 reps each side, and just making sure your hips are blocked and you're getting that really nice rotation through that lower back. And then you go straight to the other side. So I'll give you a slightly different perspective here. So you've got your back nice and still, your knees are tight, shoulders relax, your ears down, and then from here start to open up through your chest. One side always feels a little bit more jammed, and then slowly back to your start position. Once again, 10 to 15 reps should do it. And you don't have to do all of these exercises in a row. You might just pick and choose maybe 3 of them to add post-run as a little bit of a mobility, or if you're sitting in front of the telly, rather than sitting on the couch, you can sit on the floor, grab your roller, and give these a whirl. Pretending like that's 10 to 15 reps. Just carefully sitting all the way up. You'll immediately feel like you can breathe easier and your lower back feels lighter. And then this is the final one here that I like to do with a foam roller. In fact, long ways, much easier with the slightly bigger one. You're gonna actually balance yourself on here. Once again, middle back and adding a little bit of core. So we're gonna reach your palms up towards the ceiling. The foam roller is the entire length of your spine. Elbows are facing outwards, and from here, start to bend your elbows. Squeeze the foam roller between your shoulder blades, and then slowly reach. And again, bend your elbows, squeeze between your shoulder blades, and reach. Now, depending on your middle back, you might like to go the straight arm variation, where you go for the nice straight open squeeze and release. Even try a little bit of a combo, so you go one straight, one bent. Once again, 10 to 15 reps. And on your last rep, this is where you want to hold your palms wide, or if you're in your bent elbow position, hold them wide and then relax your forearms. From here, see if you can float one, and then both knees up to tabletop position. You've got to really tuck your tailbone, use your lower core. You've got your palms there support. You can even turn them down, and then just starting to add a little bit of toe tap and release. All right, so now you're using mobility, stability, and core, but it's also quite relaxing. Lying on the roller, you've got a little bit of palm support, and it's certainly more challenging doing this on a roller than it is on your back on the mat. And with this one, just aiming for 15 reps each side. And then once you've done that, you can place your heels down, relax through your hip flexors, and then bring your heels together, your knees open wide, and because you're right on the edge of the roller, your knees have got a lot of space to fall to the side, and you can turn your palms out, relax through your shoulders, and you get a nice little bit of middle back, lower back, and hip release passively. And this can be your finishing position. This is definitely relaxing. So for those of you that think that foam rolling is really, really obnoxious, it's painful, and you don't like to do it because it hurts, that's fair enough, but I promise you there's some really nice ones as well. So let me know if you use any of these tips and tricks. It can be a really good time on the roller. It can be done on a small one, a long one, whatever you've got going on. And let me know how you find it. I hope you enjoyed your session of Pilates with AB. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the link below for more exercise snacks, mobility tips, and runner special sequences. Enjoy.